Hey everybody, it's me, the Nitty Gritty Yarn Girl. Happy Monday night. It is Monday night, and this is Twisted Stitches, and we just had a little frazzle here, but we're okay. Life is good, and we improvise. And now the yarn boy is just getting the technology organized for us. So, hi. I was all ready until I realized that I had to delete my browsing history yesterday for something. And that meant that when we logged on to our show tonight, or to the streaming platform that we use, we had to log in formally. So just took a little bit of extra time. So good evening, everyone. Who's here, Paul?
All righty. We have Jillian Goldrich. Good evening. Here again. Donna Nahajlo. Hello, everyone. And Kelly Kohlhofer says hello.
Hi,
Anna
Kelly.
Maria Milani made this incredible outfit that she posted online. So congratulations on finishing that project.
What she
Says
post?
hi, everybody. Oh, yeah. You got to look at it. It's real good. And Gina Bates is in the house. You're not late. I'm on a toll.
She's on a pole.
On a toll.
Oh, I think she means she's on a roll.
Oh, yeah. Roll. And boy wonder sighting. Bryce Wonders is in the house. Hello, DJ Wonder Bread chewing in. Woot woot.
Wonder Bread or Wonder Boy?
Wonder Spell check is just having fun with this tonight. Gina Bates corrected. Yes, roll. Kitsy Demery, hi from Cortland, New York, and Sheridan Leslie Wells Flaherty. Hi, folks. Sandy Hurd, hello from Maryland.
Hello from Maryland.
Jillian Goldrich, Anna Maria finished 2 Jody long sweaters, and Kathleen Bray, hi from Redwood Valley, California.
All right, so here they are. Oh, Anna Maria, you're just moving way too fast.
Maria Brandt says hi from Hot, Missouri. Lace knitting sounds great.
It is great, and I was going to brag on Anna Maria's work in progress tonight about when I was talking about lace, and you did the work for me, Anna. It's right here on Facebook. Wow, what a great job. And look at how pretty this sweater is. It takes me forever to get something done because I have 1,000 interruptions. So I'm really proud of you, and it looks great. So Anna did the and what was the name of the sweater? It's not the Brighton sweater. What is it? I just put the book away too.
Wendy Perius Knopp, hello from Puyallup, Washington. And I've shared.
It is the Brighton sweater. So this is the one that Anna Maria just finished right here. And she did it in a lovely blue. And here you go. Let's show the folks. Look at that. Proud of you, Anna. And it fits you beautifully. Nice work.
And all the way from Eureka, California, it's Rita Johnson Cotterman. Hey, Rita. Groupies, I made it.
Hi, Rita. By the way, Rita, you had mentioned you were a little bit hesitant to get started with your lemon drop poncho tee. So don't be. Give me a call. That's why we're here.
And our friend Darren from the Cape is on. Hello from rainy Cape Cod.
Is it raining there today, Darren? Paul and I were just talking this morning. We got to figure out the Tuesday to get out there to see you. It would be a fun trip. So I think Tuesday you said was one of the best days to see you.
Anna Maria Milani says, thanks all. And Donna Nahajlo, beautiful sweater, Anna.
So let me show you this as we, this was going to be my introduction into lace, because lace is, it's sometimes considered the pinnacle of knitting because it's supposedly more intricate. And I guess it is more intricate than some other stitches like cabling and things like that. But when you look at cables, sometimes there are some darn intricate cables as well. But lace knitting can be on any weight yarn. It's just a matter of the instructions to do it. So I just want to show you. Let's take a look at how cute is that. And this was a project that Anna started when, I guess you brought the yarn at the retreat, but just working on it, just finished it. But it's so cute because you had it. I saw you this weekend, and I didn't realize that it was as far along as it was. So good for you. Good
Rita
for you.
Johnson Connerman says, I am. I will call soon. Marissa FH says, hello all. And woot, woot, woot. Celebrity sighting. Celebrity sighting. Jody Long is in the house. Says, hello
Hey,
all.
Jody. How are you? How are you? Maybe you'd like to give us some tips on lace tonight, because we're going to talk about lace knitting. And, you know, when I first attempted lace knitting, I thought, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? And you know, it's now I tell everybody it's no different than anything else that you knit. It's just a series of knits and purls with yarn overs and some other, you know, instructions in there. So when I do a class on lace knitting, we actually have a little pattern that we work on, and it's basically, if I do that, it's going to be backwards, isn't it? No, it's not. Huh? Well, you look at that. So you know,
backwards in selfie mode. We're not in selfie mode.
Oh, got it. Okay. So what we're doing here with this is we're using just a simple lace motif, like a little leaf motif, to help learn the process of lace knitting. And most often, with the exception of pattern, and for me, I think it's only been the Devon shawl that I worked on that had a different number of stitches at the end of a couple of rows, because there were, you know, you had some yarn overs, and then the next row you pick those stitches back up again. But for the most part, when you're creating a lace pattern, whatever you do to create the design, when you're increasing stitches at one point with a yarn over, at some point you have to even that out to decrease the stitch. So here in our little pattern that we use, it's a 30 stitch. It's a 10 stitch repeat, but we do it over 30 stitches. So for example, first we yarn over, so you're increasing a stitch right there, and then knit 3, and you slip 1, and then you knit 2 together. So when you're knitting 2 together, you're taking back that yarn over that you used before, but that yarn over has become a stitch. So where did my little thing go? So Jody, did you see Anna's pretty?
Yes, he did. He said, Anna Maria Milani did an amazing job knitting the Brighton sweater, and Lucy using My Little Sunshine. Jillian Goldrich says, hello, Jody. And Jillian says, I love lace, my favorite.
I know it is. I know it is. I know it is.
Anna Maria Milani, thanks, Jody. Love your patterns. And Julie Denny Stark, oh, no, I'm late. Better late than ever, I guess. Hi, all. Happy Monday. And Jody Long, Anna Maria Milani, thank you very much. Lila Foster, hello, dear friends. And Pamela Rose Atkins is in the house and says hi. And Karen Wills, hello, ladies and gents.
You added the "and gents," but good for you.
Well, I'm a gent. Darren's a gent. Jody's a gent.
Bryce is a gent.
Bryce is a gent.
My goodness, we have a lot of gents on this show.
Exactly.
Well, good for you. Good for all of us. So I just want to show you as we look at our lace pattern for this little class that we do. So we're just going to, yep, we got our purl row done. And so now we're going to start.
Karen Will shared.
With a yarn over, a yarn over. And then we're going to knit 3. And I tell people all the time, just do what the pattern tells you to do. Don't overthink the pattern. Slip 1. Then we're going to knit 2 together. What are you laughing at?
Karen Will says, and Paul. Julie Denny Stark says, gents in the house. Lots of gents in the house.
Yes. So we slipped 1 here. Then we knit 2 together. And then we're going to take our slipped stitch and pass it over our 2 stitches. So that's going to create a little piece of our design right there. And then we're going to knit 3. And then yarn over and knit 1. So we just go across with our pattern. And the next time we do these same 10 stitches, we're going to create another piece here. And then each row that you do adds another component to the design to it, so that by the end of your 8 rows, you have your pattern repeat complete. So let's take a look at a few designs that we have at Nitty Gritty Yarn Girl that use lace in their in the actual pattern. One of the ones that came to mind immediately today was the Sweet Valentine. And this was one
Hey,
of...
there's a song like that. Sweet Valentine, ba ba ba. Knitting never was so fun as with the Knitty Yarn Girl.
Are you done?
No, that's all I got.
Thank you. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm really sorry, everyone. Oh. All right, so let's go back to Sweet Valentine with no music. Thank you. No music. So with this pattern, it's funny because wasn't really funny when it happened, but it probably took me about 4 starts to get this one going. And interestingly, all the people who chose this project for their retreat project had a similar circumstance. I don't want to say the same issue because I'm not sure what my issue was. I couldn't count. I think that's what my issue was.
Where do we begin?
Right. I'm not sure what my issue was, but what I wound up doing to help and
Sandy Hurd says, I'll have what Paul's having. And Karen Will says, oh, he is fun. All right, sorry.
If anyone wanted to learn anything tonight, they might have just forget about it. I'm very sorry. We're halfway into the show and Paula has already taken over. Are you done?
Yeah.
You have to stop laughing because I can't talk if you're laughing because then everybody else keeps laughing.
Okay.
Oh my, he's fun. No, he's not, Karen.
Don't encourage the camera guy.
Okay. So in this case, and in many cases, when it comes to lace knitting, I would recommend putting stitch markers in between your repeats. It is definitely a lifesaver. And yeah, I was looking at the pattern today for the Floriana sweater that we're going to be doing.
Lila Foster, there it is, giggles. And
Yeah.
Joanne Gazowski, Paul can teach us to knit.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Nuh-uh.
Oh boy.
No. Let's not talk about spinning a good yarn.
I'll take ripping out yarn for 500, Alex.
And he doesn't even have a cocktail when he's knitting. He doesn't even know where to start. In fact, he was watching me knit today, but he really wasn't watching me knit. He was just sitting there while I was knitting.
I was working.
So when I was looking at this pattern for the Floriana jacket that we're going to be doing for our knit along, I noticed that, we've got 2 different, I didn't notice it just now, but you have 2 different lace patterns in there. And there's a couple of interesting stitches in this. But when it comes to reading the lace charts or any charts, it's really important to understand what your stitches are all about and the stitch key. So a little tip that I use is when I am knitting using a chart for the first row that I'm doing, I usually I make a copy of the chart. I don't use that little chart like that because I need to see it bigger than that. And
wait, I have to cut in here.
What?
Joanne said Paul can teach us to knit. Jillian Goldrich said, and periodical lifelines help too. And Karen Wills comes back. He needs a timeout after the show.
You know what? Thank you. I think I will. I think he will get a timeout after the show. Yes, Jillian, periodic lifelines do help in case you have to rip out. That's a very, very good point. So what I like to do here is I will write for me, because going up and down here to look like this, I'll wind up losing my place. I get that confused going back and forth. So just writing the stitches in a couple of times, for a few rows makes my life so much easier. And then once I get in the role of the pattern, once you get going with it, then it's pretty much just kind of, I don't want to say knits itself, but it comes very easily. And having those stitch markers between your patterns, your repeats, is really helpful, because if you know how many stitches you're supposed to have, and then at the end of a repeat you don't have that number, just don't go on. You only have 10 or 20 stitches to rip out that way. Otherwise you're ripping back a whole row. And with this one, when you're working with mohair, and working with 2 strands, you got mohair and wool in here, it's harder to rip. And actually the pattern that I was working on last week, remember the one that I said sometimes you just got to give up on something? That pattern, I wasn't enjoying it enough to keep ripping it out. Sometimes, you're just determined and you work through it and you're so glad when you did. And other times it's like, yeah, no, I'm good. I can just move on. But, and that's when I tell people all the time, scrap yarn is your friend. Grab that scrap yarn, cast down the number of stitches that you're going to be doing for your repeat. Maybe even just do, I like to do like 3 stitches on each end, and then maybe 2 repeats in there, so that I can practice it, get the feel for that design, for the pattern itself. And then once I have, that if it's 8 rows, I like to do my 8 rows, so I know what it's supposed to look like when it's done. Do it on scrap yarn. Grab bigger needles, get a heavier yarn, and make it easy for yourself rather than harder for yourself. Are there any other?
Yeah, I do that myself, and I found that to be very helpful.
You're really cruising tonight. What else? I see people. I see
Beverly Riser. I make the pattern large so I can see better. And a see-through line magnifying item.
Oh yeah, that's what one of these. This has been Carolyn Noller. Carolyn Noller gave this to me. I've got to find more of these, because this is a lifesaver. So here, let me show you how this works. And I don't even know, I haven't even figured out where to get these, but look at that. So how much easier that makes the stitch. I don't know if you can see how magnified it is.
Look at that. You can see
as opposed to what's up here. So, if you follow your row right along, and it even has a little line across here so that you can see. That works really well. I like that, because then I don't have to magnify the pattern.
Rita Johnson Cotterman, thank you. Makes sense.
And then there's something, and then this little highlighter tape is also very helpful, because with this, you can, my girlfriend Ellie uses this all the time in her knitting. So let me just show you what you can do with this if you've not used it yet. Is you take it and you put the tape on the row where you're working, and that way it keeps. So right here now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rows that I've highlighted. And then with this, I mean, goodness gracious, I would never lose my place now. So that's a great idea. The highlighter tape is helpful. This little, I'm going to have to look for more of these, because this is a great thing. And it also has little magnets on it. So if you use.
Rita Johnson Cotterman says, ooh, that is a wonderful little tool. And Beverly Riser, oh, yes, they are amazing. And Phyllis Smebby, I know what you mean. I was working on a pattern that wasn't hard, but I ended up ripping it out 3 times and finally gave up.
Yeah.
Karen Mills says, I have one for Cross Stitch, Hobby Lobby, and Michaels. Joanne's have them. And Gina Bates says, I love the magnet strips in the pattern holder.
Yeah, so here you've got your magnet strips in the pattern holder, which I swear by these things, because I just put this right here, and then I take these and lay them under so that my little magnet's not going to move. And then I just move it up each row. And so these are very helpful. And then I'm just thinking, now that we're looking also at these cute little magnet strips, this is a magnet as well, so you can use it right on your pattern holder. It'll stick right to it. So that's another little helpful hint and tip when you're working with lace. So the Sweet Valentine cowl was one. Another was Solar Flare, and with Solar Flare, you have a combination of lace and then some other stitches in between there, and then more lace on the bottom. So you've got a lot of eyelet up top, separated by the reverse stockinette stitch with the little ribbing in there to separate that.
Joanne Gazowski says, put the pattern in a sheet protector first and keep moving the highlighter TSP where you need it.
Tape. Yeah.
Tape. Oh.
Yep.
And Mary Smith says, I agree with the sample swatch to see how the whole motif knits out. I did that with my current lace project, and I used the stitch markers and I used the highlighter tape. Only thing I did different was I used the written instructions instead of the chart. And Tammy Freeman says, you can find those magnifiers in cross-stitch area of Michael's.
Thank you. Thank you. I will check with my suppliers too and see if I can find them. And they're a great idea. So I'm trying to remember what the pattern in the sheet protector. That's another great idea too, because then you're not ruining your pattern as you go along. Oh, I know what I was thinking of. The person who used the written instruction as opposed to the chart. And we talked about this before. Some patterns are only have chart or only have written instructions when you have lace. And so it's really good to learn how to read the charts, even though you might prefer to use the written instructions. I have fans and customers who prefer to take the chart and write it out. And so, in fact, I think Pam for a while, Pam Atkins used to do that. And I think she's getting to the point now, I think in the last few things, she's actually used the charts, which, that's good. We should learn to use both.
Speaking of Pamela Rose Atkins, I'm using the markers between the repeats in the Naira wrap I'm knitting.
Oh, and then, Pam, does the Naira wrap have written instructions, or is it charted, or both? I don't remember off the top of my head.
And do say hello to Roderick.
Why is it that you speak like that with Pamela and
I don't know.
Roderick?
Oh, and let's not forget about our
Only
friend
chart.
Doug Cotterman.
Only a chart. Thank you. Paul's so busy being social here, he's not reading the comments.
No, because you jumped in.
Well, I'm sorry.
Hey, what can I tell you?
It is a show. People are here for a reason. And this was a fun one that has just a little bit of lace in it. The silver leaf shawl. And that pattern was really nice to do. And I will say this, there were people who were working on this pattern, and I'm trying to remember where it starts. I think it starts down at this end. And when they got to the lace, they were sure something was wrong. And so what I remember saying to them, just keep going. Do what the pattern tells you. If you're yarning over and, then you're following your knits and purls in here, it's going to come out. So you're creating a leaf. Just remember what you want to create. I remember when I was learning to be an aerobics instructor, and they were teaching us in the class. They said, think about the muscle group you want to work, and are you working that muscle group? So it's like when you're knitting something, think, especially if it's a design, think about the shape you want to create, and are you seeing that shape come together? And that series of yarn overs and knit two togethers and passing slip stitches over, all that. I love watching knitting, the fabric happen when we're knitting. And it's just, so whether it's cables or lace or even, or mosaic, it doesn't matter what it is. It's like having a jigsaw puzzle all over the table. And then you put one piece at a time in it, and one piece at a time, one knit, one purl, one stitch to the next across the row. And before you know it, voila, you've got a project going, and
Like royalty.
it's just so satisfying to see it come together.
Rita Johnson Cotterman says, Doug is listening. His phone died, so he can't comment. He says, hello, Nitty Gritty Yarn Girl groupies. Karen Wills says, wow, love that. And Rita Johnson Cotterman says, I love seeing the pattern come to life while knitting.
Oh, that's my favorite part of knitting. It's relaxing to me, but I love the part where I look down and go, oh, look at that. Wow, I can see the design. And especially with the Meet Me at Midnight. I love
Meet Me at Midnight.
I love Meet Me at Midnight. And I have to admit, I did not knit this one, but I can't imagine how satisfying this had to be when you, and now this is not lace, this is mosaic, but how satisfying that had to be to see that pattern come together by doing nothing but slipping stitches. I mean, that's just so cool. And knowing how to read the pattern. I mean, yeah, there are times when there are mistakes in patterns. And so you've got to, give yourself some grace. If something is not right, I tell people all the time, I don't design. So I don't, I don't know if there's a mistake in a pattern. The couple of things that I've created for myself and for the fans here, if someone points out a mistake to me, I'm more than willing to raise my hand because, sometimes you just get confused when you're writing it out. So, it does happen at times. What I always advise is if you're having a hard time and you're having issues with the pattern over and over and over again, write to the instructor, write to the designer. That designer will be able to help you and they should respond. I have only had 2 times where a designer did not respond to me. And those 2 times I had to then adjust the pattern to make it work. And it did, and it was fine. But you don't know how long some of those designers have been on there. So let me just set this one back. Are there questions there, Paul?
Nope, we're doing good.
Cool. We're on time here. So, if you wanted to try a pattern with lace and you had not ventured into lace just yet, I would say something like the silver leaf shawl is a nice one to get started with. The twisted stitches shawl doesn't really have lace in it. It has a lot of different stitches in it, and it's a great thing. It's a great way to practice. To practice different stitches, but there is not lace in there.
Karen Will says, when I have an issue with my work, I put it down and come back to it.
Yes, and that's great. I mean, there are sometimes you just have to walk away for a little while, and that's not a bad thing. You feel better when you come back, and sometimes you just for me, sometimes it's the next morning because a lot of times I don't get a chance to knit until later on in the evening, and I'm tired, and I make mistakes when I'm tired. And so I can't get upset if I've made a mistake and I really shouldn't be knitting to begin with. So unlike Paul, who can stay up till 2:00 in the morning and keep working.
2:30.
My eyes are sleepy and they just want to close. So I can't do that.
Rita Johnson Cotterman says, if any of you are new knitters, Paulette is a wonderful teacher.
Oh, you're so
I
sweet.
started knitting 1.5 years ago, and Paulette has helped me bloom and become better and better each project. Well,
you can't get better if you don't challenge yourself. I'm a firm believer in challenging myself to do better. When I decided I wanted to be a triathlete, I couldn't swim 25 yards. I mean, I just couldn't. But I got in the water and I worked at it. And I actually had a coach watch me swim one day. And he said, okay, swim the length of the pool. And I did. And I got, I came back up and I looked up and he said to me, well, you did a really good job at perfecting a really bad stroke. And so, it was, if I wanted to become a better swimmer, I had to learn and I had to practice, and I kept practicing and practicing. And I was never the strongest swimmer on the team, but I could swim. I could get myself through the water. And I knew that once I got through the water, I could beat anybody on that bike. And so that's how, so you learn what you have to learn, and you get better at what you already know, and you keep increasing your skills. It doesn't matter if you're doing a triathlon or if you're learning how to knit. Getting better at what you do takes practice, practice, practice.
Speaking of triathlons.
Yes.
That code is good through Monday night, was it? From the weekend or no?
Yeah. But what does that have to do with the triathlon?
I don't know. It just popped into my head. It just popped into my head.
So Paul would like everybody to know that Paul would like everybody to have free shipping on orders over $50 tonight. So the code is not still live.
It's not?
No.
Oh, I thought it was through Monday night.
But thank you so much. So here's what we're going to do. And if there's any purchases tonight over $50, I'm not going to go in. Yeah, I'm going to go in and put in a code that says Twisted Stitches. And you just put Twisted Stitches in your discount code at checkout, and you get free shipping on your orders over $50. Just tonight, though. Okay. So, hey, thanks, Paul.
Oh, well, I thought it was from yesterday. I don't know.
What are you going to do?
Speaking of what are you going to do?
What? What now? Speaking of triathlons. Oh, is it time to share?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, who wants to win?
I hope you enjoyed just a couple of comments and tips on lace knitting. I'm just trying to take the mystery out of that for you. For those of you who have not ventured into
Mix
lace
it up, Nitty Gritty.
as yet.
And the winner is.
This person's name has first and last name initials that are exactly the same. Jillian Goldridge. Didn't I just give you a sharing prize?
Maria Brandt said the demonstration was helpful. Wow.
Congratulations, Jillian. Congratulations. By the way, before I know that we're a little bit over time.
That's okay. We own the network.
All the yarns that we got in last week, the rustic Aran, rustic lace, kettle dyed fingering, and painted desert are all on the website. And several of the patterns that I showed you that we had are also up there on the website. And we'll be getting in a trunk show in the next week. I think it's going to be, I'm hoping, next Monday and the Monday after. So we've got lots of good stuff happening here at Nitty Gritty Yarn Girl. There's still time to join the Floriana Knit Along. If you'd like to join us, we'd love to have you. We've got lots of yarns and got lots of people who are going to be part of that. Oh, here it is. I was looking for the pattern. Lots of yarns and lots of people. Look at those pretty designs. Talk about lace, huh? Talk about lace. There we go. Fun. I can't wait to do this. This is going to be a great pattern. You want to see my colors? These are my colors. I'm doing this one. I wanted to go with something different. So that's it. It's great. It's purples and peach, green, really pretty. I love those colors. They're going to be great and lively for the summer. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful night. Jody, thanks for stopping in. Everybody, thanks for stopping in. We love you all. We'll see you soon. Take care.